Hello everyone, you are watching a segment of the Countdown program from August 31, 2023, today is Thursday. See the full version of the program on the Patreon resource. It's time to subscribe right now, because starting tomorrow new subscription packages with new programs will start there. But more on that later, but now let's move on to the main topic of our program. The question of survival in a cave is extrapolated from top to bottom. The processes around the bunker are ongoing, fascist whirlwinds are swirling over the violent head of the bald leader. The CEC seriously states that it is time to adopt the positive experience of Zimbabwe in the matter of democratic voting, protect shaggy values and block the path to the pernicious influence of the West. And at this time, the daring Girkin raised his voice from the pre-trial detention center on the topic of his nomination for the post of head of the cave. Even worse, in his program text, Girkin actually recognizes Putin as incompetent in military matters, a naive fool who was led by the nose by Western figures, including Poroshenko, as well as an inadmissibly kind and indecisive creature, around whom endless oligarchs are rubbing shoulders, robbing the cave. "I'm not at all so kind, which I can prove in practice," states Girkin, clearly mocking the genius and his entourage. It is unlikely that Girkin will be released after such a statement. Most likely, they will speed up the process of his conviction or make him a sudden prisoner. The terrorist's health has already deteriorated with a hint of a heart attack. Some insiders hanging around within the walls of the Apashechka note that among Putin's desired sparring partners, there are no jingoistic patriots, or angry hairy people. Therefore, Strelkov's supporters, who declared the political ambitions of their angry idol, are unlikely understand the current political realities and do not feel the current political moment at all. It is obvious that even if he were free, Strelkov would have no chance of registering as a candidate for the fascist games, and it would be simply impossible to do this from a pre-trial detention center. The furry people are despondent. 300,000 signatures will, of course, be collected to nominate Girkin. But now there are fears that such a nomination will be used for the final and irrevocable defeat of the armchair patriots, because the FSB will have in its hands a per capita list of angry idiots, coupled with their passport data. The paradigm of daily survival is relevant for everyone in its own way. Igor will dodge an old woman with a scythe while sitting in a pre-trial detention center, and Putin will move from one residence to another. And go and check which of the doubles has moved where. Kadyrov also thought about the frailty of existence and boarded a train, on which he arrived in Moscow to testify his loyalty to the bald commander. And if it gets really scary, he'll ride a donkey and get to the bunker along roundabout paths. Everyone survives as best they can. See this and other stories in full on Patreon. Become our patrons now and look further in this program. Today Ben Wallace resigned from the post of Minister of Defence of Britain, which he held for 4 years. The current head of the Ministry of Energy Grant Shapps has become the new Minister of Defence of Great Britain. Drones attacked Brian's. The city centre was closed to cars and people to ensure special security. And at night, explosions were heard in Feodosia, in the eastern part of the occupied Crimea. This morning, due to flight restrictions at Viennakovo, Domodedovo, Zhukovsky airports, 45 aircraft left for alternate airports. After a special farewell to Prigozhin, the Mytishchi cemetery was cordoned off today, where Dmitry Utkin, who grunted on the same plane with the disgraced cook, was buried quietly, at home. Meanwhile, the bald playboy continues to cast a shadow in the cave. Someone has posted a video of Prigozhin supposedly alive with deleted metadata. And the last. Starting September 1, new packages for subscribing to new programs are being added to our Patreon. In principle, everything remains as before. A $1 package allows you to watch almost all programs, but with a noticeable delay. For $3 you will see Countdown on the day of release and 282 a few days after the broadcast. For $5 a subscriber gets access to the live program, 282 No Polites, and to those programs that are available in a $3 package. That is, The usual content remains unchanged. 2 more packages are added to the existing ones. For $7 per month, the subscriber will receive 8 postscript programs and annex to the countdown and 1 live feedback program, and for $10 another satirical show of Baba Shura. Also, another subscription to another Patreon Sotnik Club started yesterday. There will be no politics, only the work of the writer and playwright Aleksandr Sotnik. The link to the creative Patreon is in the description of this video. And that is all. Watch the full program on Patreon Sotnik-TV. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. I hugged everyone. I'll meet you tomorrow on Friday Live. Glory to Ukraine.